Sorry, was I supposed to say anything? Was I? I was told I can sit here and just smile and be nice. I was actually told that. When I was 15 years old, I showed my drawings to an artist. She was a woman living in Belgium and she was successful, and I thought, why not ask her about her opinion about my works? So I proudly went up to her and showed my portfolio, which was mostly sketches and portraits taken from Bravo and other magazines, but they were quite okay. She looked at my drawings and she said, well, you're talented. You are. You should work more. But you should know this is very hard. This is very, very difficult. This is going to take all of your time. This is going to eat up your life. And then she ended, but you are pretty. And that is of utmost importance for a girl. And I was 15 and I thought, thanks. This was a compliment, but it didn't really sound like that, did it? You are pretty, and this is of utmost importance for a girl. Why doesn't that sound like a compliment? What does that tell to a 15-year-old? It tells her not to try too hard, because you won't have to. If you're pretty, you're going to do fine. Just associate yourself with a successful man, perhaps. Marry into a good family, and you'll do fine. You won't have to go through that stomach ache and pain of work, right? And this is a tale that someone told me a couple of years ago, in the 21st century, by a woman who was living in a Western country. What is surprising is that some people still think that. And without knowing this, we still tell that tale. We hear that tale ever since we're young. Once upon a time, there was a pretty princess, and she needed to be rescued. And because she was pretty, Prince Charming went to her rescue and set her free. And they fell in love, and they got married, and they lived happily ever after. This is the outline of most of the stories that we hear when we're children. And then they become the stories of present time, in the media, in the movies. A couple of weeks ago, we were celebrating the 8th of March. How many of you know what we celebrate on the 8th of March?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, thanks. You're just helping me prove my point. It's International Women's Day. What do you think of when I say International Women's Day? Oh, I have to buy my mom some flowers.
I know.
I have to buy some flowers to the women in our lives, because otherwise they're going to be angry. They're pretty and they're delicate and they're nice, but they're going to be angry because we celebrate their beauty and their delicacy and their fragility with flowers, right? And a couple of weeks ago, a very famous shopping center here in Cluj wanted to celebrate the 8th of March by organizing an event, inviting a record number of women to put on lipstick in the same time and get into the Guinness Book of Records. And people had no problem with this. It's fun, isn't it? Let's celebrate the 8th of March, the International Day of Women, with a symbol of physical beauty, because this is what describes us, right? It does, doesn't it? I don't know how many women went there. I don't know if they got into the record. But I know that very few people protested about this. Very few people thought this was wrong. And why should it be wrong? Isn't this the way we think of women, that they're beautiful? Is it? Is it not?
It matters that much.
The point is, beauty is one of the attributes that we associate to women. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there is a problem when this becomes the rule, when this becomes the stereotype. Because stereotypes limit our vision of the world. And when we repeat stereotypes, they become reality. They become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Fortunately enough, when I was 15 years old, I had enough pimples not to believe her compliment and say, yeah, whatever. You think I'm pretty, this was just to put me off and say, go on your way and do something with yourself. But what if I had believed that? What if I had repeated that to myself for several years? I don't have to work hard. I don't have to try anything. If you're pretty enough, you will be liked. And that's the key of your success. And coming back to the 8th of March, what we celebrate on the 8th of March is not beauty, is not delicacy, but is the triumph of reason, the triumph of women who persevered, who were smart enough, who were brave enough to challenge stereotypes and fight for their rights. International Women's Day celebrates equal rights for men and women, celebrates both men and women's capacity to understand that we are equal and we are not just limited by a couple of characteristics. I'm not here to say we should stop thinking of women as beautiful or fragile, kind or gentle. These are all good attributes for any kind of human being. I'm just saying that we should change the discourse about womanhood by including much more characteristics that are real to our society. Courage, intelligence, perseverance. I don't know how many of you went to a maternity ward, but I can assure you there's nothing delicate about there. There's just courage, and there's strength, and there's reason, and there is perseverance. I guess what I'm trying to say today is one of the ways we could stop furthering these stereotypes, these limiting beliefs for our daughters, for our sisters, for our future wives, is to change this discourse, to start telling a different tale, a tale with no princesses, but with real-life female heroes. Thank you.